If you remember watching Astro Boy while growing up, you are going to love the artist/author that I want to talk about today. Hi everyone, welcome to Chalchitra Talks. मेरा नाम वाणी है, and in this episode, I want to talk to you about a graphic novel, Ayako, by Osamu Tezuka. पोगो पर एक टीवी शो आता था, Astro Boy. It was a cartoon about a young robo who's very cute, and he's actually invented by a doctor because his son has passed away. Long story short, it was actually the first manga to be adapted into a TV show in Japan, and then it went on to air all around the world. Now, not many people know that it was actually, the manga series were actually written by this guy called Osamu Tezuka, who is massive in Japan. उनके लिए एक म्यूजियम डेडिकेटेड है जापान में, talking about his comics, his works, and so on. He is the guy who actually turned down Stanley Kubrick only because he was a little too busy. And he's actually inspired the likes of Frank Miller or Spirited Away's Hayao Miyazaki. He was born in 1928, but even till today, a lot of artists credit a lot of things in the world of anime and manga to him. He's actually responsible for the huge expressive eyes we see in anime and manga. He's also responsible for the pencil strokes that suggest movement in manga. And there are so many things that he gets credit for. But unfortunately, not many people outside of Japan know about him. Despite that, and this is something I realized after looking him up online, he has a massive cult following all around the world. Tezuka is known as the god of manga, and the reason why I picked up Ayako essentially or primarily was because of its cover. It is tangerine orange and has nothing but a girl on its cover. There's the title and the signature of Tezuka, and that's it. And the way the girl has been positioned, her arms, her legs, the way she's looking at you with a half smile, it's very intriguing. Her look just holds on to you and you build your own thoughts about the book. I've picked up a lot of books basis the cover alone, but this was the first time I was actually building a story in my head even before I started reading it. And that speaks at length about how beautiful and brilliant Osamu Tezuka's work is. I haven't read a lot of graphic novels, but the few that I've read, I can tell you that the narrative that Osamu Tezuka builds around his characters is something that's exceptionally beautiful. You inherently know where to look and how to perceive the dramatic imagery that is being painted in front of you. Coming to the book, Ayako is a little complex. It's set in post-World War II Japan, and it talks about family politics, international politics. There are a lot of different plots that are running at the same time. It's about 700 pages long, and I remember sitting in about 300 pages and wondering how Osamu Tezuka is going to build all these plots together and all the characters, and there are a lot of characters in the book. How is he going to bring them to an end? And there were times when I actually wondered if perhaps there is a second part to Ayako, and there was none. So I was genuinely worried how Osamu Tezuka is going to build everything together. But then it just falls into place, whatever is happening. I don't want to give you a lot of plot in detail, or I don't want to give you the plot at all about the book because it surprises you. Because this is something that we don't see anymore. He talks about incest, he talks about prisoner of wars, he talks about PTSD, and there are so many things that are relevant in a patriarchal setup. But what moved me the most about Ayako was the way different characters perceive love, perceive respect, perceive loyalty. Every character undergoes a transformation, especially the children. You see them when they are 4 and then you follow them until they turn 27 or 30. And there are quite a few kids in the book as well. Their transition is something that's very different, something that you may not have expected. But it pleases you because you know the graph and you see the graph. And what we do not see coming is how war changes everything. War is not something that a lot of us have seen in real time. And the way war transforms an individual is something that's worth looking out for. Ayako is the result of an incest, and I wouldn't go into detail, and these were certain details that disturbed me a lot. But when the story starts unfolding itself, you start to sympathize with the characters. Not essentially the people who violated other people, but you start seeing what transforms these people, and it opens up your mind to the way people react to different circumstances and the way people turn out to be when things have happened to them. And that's not all. Ayako will change the way you look at war or perceive women or their role in war. There are so many layers that you'll discover when you're reading Ayako, and it will only make you respect Osamu Tezuka even more and the people who've survived war. I did not like one thing while reading the book, and it was particularly how people had different accents, how they had described different accents in the book. It of course helped you establish what character comes from what place, but it made it a little difficult for me to read the book because there were places when I was in a flow of thought, but I had to go back and reread something because I was not able to understand it the first time. But having said that, Ayako is something that I feel is a brilliant piece of literature. It is something that everyone should read. There will be times when you will be uncomfortable because of the society we come from or the kind of books we usually read. It is not the kind of story I would have picked up essentially. I would have picked up had I known what is in store. But now that I have read it, I think it's one of the essential reads that you have to go through to understand the world a little better. And even though I picked the book up because of the cover itself, I held on to it because the story was so beautiful. So this was my recommendation for this week. I hope you like it. And I will be back again with another recommendation for you in my next episode. But before I go, I want to tell you that if you like our work, you can support us on Patreon or become a member of our YouTube community. We have carefully divided our patrons into 3 different categories: Goodfellas, Gladiators, and Godfathers. Godfathers are at the top, and they get a lot of perks. They get to be a part of our live streams, our quizzes. They also have exclusive groups on WhatsApp that are dedicated to music, movies, and books. And apart from that, they also are a part of regular town halls that we host every month. And we always show them our new launches before they are made public to everyone. So do support us if you like our work. Become a patron. And also, the times are getting a little difficult. Please wear a mask. Go out of your houses only and only if it is extremely necessary. And please take care of each other.